Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Psych and Sex Sundays with Dr. Sonya. That is me. Today I want to talk about my favorite things that I've learned so far from the Sexual Health Alliance, which is a wonderful organization where I'm getting my sex therapy certification. And this video is part of my capstone project. I wanted to take time to reflect, and all day I've been thinking about what are some of the facts that I've learned in my process of learning all the modules, of attending the didactics that have really stuck out to me. Like, what are the topics that I'm so glad that I learned more about? So thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of content where I talk about all things psychology, relationships, and spicy time, please make sure to hit that like. It really helps my channel out. And of course, subscribe for more videos like this. Number one, discussing the health benefits of self-care or masturbation. Yes, it is so healthy to take care of your needs. And we live in a society where it's very stigmatized. So I love talking about the research-based reasons for why it's actually so good for you. When you are stimulating your genitals, masturbating, no matter who you are, right? You're bringing blood flow to that area. You might be rubbing or fingering or however you do it. So you might be using a vibrator. Nobody ever stigmatizes rubbing lotion on your body or rubbing other things, bringing blood flow to other areas. No one stigmatizes working out, bringing blood flow to other areas of the body. But there's something about stimulating your own genitals that is so frowned upon. Even though so many studies show it is so healthy to have orgasms and to give yourself pleasure, or to just participate in pleasure in general with somebody else. But giving yourself pleasure, it is so healthy. First off, it is a stress reliever. And we talk about this in the Sexual Health Alliance all the time. It releases tension. It decreases stress. It even can make you more immune to certain viruses. You're less likely to get sick. There's so many healthy hormones that get released, like prolactin. And of course, there's oxytocin, there's vasopressin, there's serotonin when you're having an orgasm. You can even have an oxytocin release on your own. Of course, you have an oxytocin release with a partner, but these healthy hormones, it's really great. Also, I learned a little bit more about this too. The more that you allow yourself to have pleasure and orgasms, the better your pelvic floor health is going to be. It can actually improve your pelvic floor function when you have more orgasms. This is really helpful for so many reasons, especially when it comes to incontinence for women. The more that you have a strong pelvic floor, the less likely you are to have certain issues when it comes to holding in pee, for example. Pelvic floor health is really important for men as well. A lot of men, when they struggle with erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation, when they are able to better manage their pelvic floor and strengthen their pelvic floor, they're less likely to have those types of issues. And no matter who you are, if you have more orgasms, you're more likely to have better sleep. Heal sleep issues that are insomnia related. For prostate owners, when you have more ejaculations, which is often associated with masturbation, you are less likely to have an inflamed prostate. And also, research shows that the more that you ejaculate, the healthier your sperm is going to be in terms of quality. So if you want to reproduce, if that's something that you're trying to do, the more that you ejaculate, the better the quality of your sperm. Before learning with the Sexual Health Alliance, I thought delayed ejaculation was rare. It turned out that in one of the didactics that I participated in, it turns out that there's a lot of men out there who actually have a hard time having an orgasm during sex. And it's mostly due to the way that they masturbate. A lot of people say it's more due to psychological, or maybe they're not attracted to their partner. But actually, there's a lot of men who are attracted to their partner, but they are unable to have an orgasm because they get accustomed to the way that they masturbate. Some refer to it as the death grip syndrome. So if you're going to be grabbing your penis in a certain way that's very hard, you're not going to enjoy sex as much with a partner because a vagina or a mouth or someone else's hands might not actually provide the same stimulation that you're used to from your hands. So a great treatment for that I learned about from Dr. Steven Snyder is you want to try a fleshlight, something that replicates a vagina sensation. You might want to switch hands, take a break, those types of things. And it turns out delayed ejaculation is pretty prevalent, and it does actually cause distress. Of course, there's going to be people out there that are like, oh, I wish I could last that long. But a lot of people don't want to last that long. So that's something that I continue to try to educate and advocate for people that do struggle with that. And yeah, I was really appreciative that Sexual Health Alliance reviewed that in one of the didactics. That was really cool. Topic number 2, I really loved how Sexual Health Alliance had a whole section in the modules related to terminology to use, being careful with my words in a way that's more inclusive. For example, I talk a lot about certain situations that happen for peen owners, for vulva owners. And before being in the Sexual Health Alliance, I might have mistakenly said that men struggle with erectile dysfunction, or women have a hard time having an orgasm during sex. But really, the proper way to talk about it is peen owners or penis owners. I always have to, say peen in a lot of ways. I'm just going to use the real words for this video, but I have to, modify my language on social media, which is super annoying. But yeah, I've been a lot more careful with saying peen owners or vulva owners, because there are so many people out there who have a penis but don't identify as a male. And there are so many individuals out there who have a vagina or a vulva, but they don't identify as female. And I want to make sure that when I'm talking about sexual health, I'm not misgendering people or making people feel left out. A lot of the research I do looks, at men or women and that kind of thing. So it can be kind of hard to avoid using that kind of terminology, but Sexual Health Alliance has really helped me be more mindful of it so that I am more inclusive, especially as a member of the LGBTQ plus community who works with populations who are gender minorities, sexual minorities. I'm just really glad that there was an emphasis on that, because I think we need more of that in this world. Number 3, learning more about body parts has been nice. I'm not sure how else to even explain that, right? But being a part of the Sexual Health Alliance, I've learned so much more about the clitoris, the magical organ of the clitoris. And it has helped me point out so many misconceptions about the clitoris. And I realize as I study sex and learn more about sex, there's a lot of individuals that actually don't know much about it, or they might believe myths that they've heard about the clitoris. For example, a lot of people don't seem to understand that this miraculous organ of the clitoris, made mostly from erectile tissue, is not just the nub that you see on the outside. That's just the glans of the clitoris, right? But a lot of people think that what you see on the outside, that's the clitoris. But no, it's this large organ that goes inside the body. And I think the Sexual Health Alliance did a good job reviewing that's a misconception that a lot of people don't understand. I think it's also really important that vulva owners are mindful that when you have a clitoris, it extends. The legs of the clitoris extend internally. So some women or some vulva owners are able to experience pleasure from penetration because of the clitoris legs being extended internally. I've also learned that a lot of women might not actually be able to do that, or it's possible that they lack the resources and education to give themselves that opportunity to explore their body and find out that, maybe I do like that kind of stimulation. And I think it's really sad that a lot of med schools don't actually focus on the clitoris. I remember reading one of the Sexual Health Alliance articles talking about how a lot of doctors in med school, they really don't learn that much about the clitoris, and a lot of them are actually uncomfortable talking about the clitoris or addressing it, which is really frustrating because, for example, some people get labiaplasties for whatever reason, whether it's, for cosmetic reasons, or maybe they're getting it because some people's labia are longer than others and they want to feel more comfortable in their clothing. So they might get a labiaplasty. And in some cases, unfortunately, that can lead to damage to the clitoris. So women or vulva owners with that experience should feel empowered and comfortable going to medical professionals and talking about this issue. But if some medical professionals are not comfortable with that anatomy, then that's not serving the population very well, is it? So I wanted to make sure and include that too, because we could all do better. And I'm hoping that there's more resources that are put into research about the clitoris, because I know that if you research things about the penis, there's a lot more searches that you can get on the internet than the clitoris, which is very much related to issues with sex and sexual minorities and just lack of funding in general, which is super sad. Just now on Google, I can see that typing clitoris research gets over 68 million less than penis searches. Sexual Health Alliance has helped me understand why it's been so hard for me to research sexual related issues before getting my sex therapy certification, because it's been rough. It's been rough, and I'm hoping that there's more funding so that we can continue learning and educating and talking about these topics. Another body part that's been more fun to learn about is, of course, nipples, nipples and areola and all that good stuff. Understanding that when you are cold or scared or aroused, your nipples and areola area might get hard. Understanding that it's normal for when you're about to menstruate or during menstruation for that area to be extra sensitive. Because yeah, we don't learn about these things in school. I learned so much too about penises and foreskin and lack of foreskin. I also learned that a lot of people don't seem to understand that orgasm and ejaculation are two separate things. For penis owners, for example, the orgasm happens about 2 to 3 seconds before the ejaculation. Also, anyone can have multiple orgasms, whether you have a penis or a vagina. And a lot of people, peen owners, vulva owners, can have orgasms that are unrelated to stimulation of the genitals, which I think is very cool. There are many erogenous zones that activate those pleasure and reward centers of the brain that don't actually involve stimulation of the genitals at all. So if people think like, oh, I can't have multiple orgasms because of what kind of genitals I have, then they might actually not know the potential of their pleasure. And again, I think that SHA, Sexual Health Alliance, has done a really good job of educating us on that. And if you're watching this and you're considering continuing your education, they have certification programs not just for sex therapy, but also for sex coaching, sex educating, kink informed, varying relationship types. They have a business school. They have so many resources. So I'm really, really glad that I chose Sexual Health Alliance. And a couple weeks ago, I did a presentation at Villanova University for the master's program for human sexuality, and the workshop was really cool. I was telling them about how great my experience has been with Sexual Health Alliance, and I was able to do a nice trivia with them. And of course, most of them actually knew. I was really like, ooh, this is great. A lot of them knew the answers to the trivia that I was asking, which was really awesome. And yeah, if you didn't already know, I do go live on TikTok multiple days a week on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and I do sex fact trivia. I call it intimacy trivia because I can't write sex on TikTok, which is so annoying. Even when I say, sometimes I try segs, eggs with S in front of it, and that one seems to get flagged. So I use intimacy, safer word, right? And it helps me get a little bit of an idea, like how much does society know about sex? And it can be a lot of fun to do that. And I'm really glad that I've been learning evidence-based information from Sexual Health Alliance so I can continue sharing what I'm learning with the world, whether that's workshops at universities or on TikTok or on YouTube like we are right now. I'm really thankful that I have that opportunity. And I'm so glad that I've had Sexual Health Alliance as that resource for me. And also the community has been great as well. The didactics are awesome. It feels like such a safe space, and it's such a different atmosphere when you're in the Sexual Health Alliance groups because you don't have to worry about like hiding your sex toys. There's so many other reasons, but the one that stands out the most is when I'm used to being in meetings with other doctoral colleagues, right? It's like you have to be careful of what's in the background. You can't just have like your vibrator laying out. But at Sexual Health Alliance, it don't matter. I have a booby cup, It doesn't matter if my booby cup is presented in the background. People probably appreciate it instead of judging me. Editing Sonya here. If you're curious about the booby cup, it's actually more of a creamer. And it's nice because you can put cream or milk in it for your coffee. But I personally like to keep it in my bathroom to hold like my toothbrush or my sunscreen. And yeah, there's been many meetings where I've had it in the back, just like behind me. With no shame. If it was a doctoral meeting for my doctoral program with a bunch of therapists, I would have to close the door of my bathroom so no one could see it. But during the Sexual Health Alliance didactics, I'm okay with people seeing the boobie, nipple and everything. I remember, I know for a fact that I can't post this on TikTok. I tried, it didn't work. But I wish I could because it's amazing. Yeah, the things you can find online, right? Okay, back to the video. So yeah, if you're considering Sexual Health Alliance, I do recommend that you check it out. If anyone has any questions about Sexual Health Alliance and you're still trying to think like, should I try it out? Then I did put their link below in the description and you can reach out to them with any questions that you have if you are thinking of continuing your education. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn on those bell notifications. All of those things help my channel so much. And everyone, please make sure to make pleasurable cliticisions, and D-sicions. because you deserve it. You really do. Because whether or not you have a D or a V, you deserve it. You deserve those pleasurable cliticisions and D-sicions. So I'll see you next week for another video. Thanks for listening.